Green it is. I'm using the Rustic Wilderness, which I absolutely adore. And I am using the Twisted Citron as a contrasting color. So that's the two inks, therefore transparent. And I'm using the Hickory Smoke in Oxide. So that is not transparent. Opaque is the word I'm looking for. So do you remember when I did my, couple of weeks ago, when I did the card with the mushroom, where I was dragging the ink that way? It's kind of the same. I kind of went with the same thing. So light green, dark green next to it, and I'll put the gray there separate. Remember, ink, distress ink, and distress oxide in gray, because I want the gray to show. So then you take your water, and I want the water to like bead up like this, which is why I'm using the craft sheet, Beatrice. Never put it. So then afterwards you're going to do the same thing. So let me think how I did it how did I do it? Yeah. So basically what I'm doing, instead of dragging the pad, I'm just putting the card like this. You see what I mean? Not the full card, just the edge of the card, and I kind of push the ink. So I've got all the dark here and all the light here. So now I'm going to go on this side to add a bit of Twisted Citron on this side here. And I'm going to go on this side. Again, always press down and push. And then you get all sorts of different effects. And then because I don't want like a line like this, then that's why I'm using anything that's been beading up, and I just hardly touch. If you press down, you're not going to get the splatters. It's getting splatters in a way, but so I don't want to press with my hand. I'm just bringing the card down to pick up the ink. I hope that makes sense. So I want to be careful. So here we go. Now, if you don't like what you've done here, I like it, so I'm not going to change it. But if you don't like this, you can spray a bit of water and hold your card like that, and it's going to run. But it's like, I like the way it is now, so I don't want to change it. So what I'm going to do is dry. Oh, by the way, the card I'm using, the card is important. It's for those of you who shop at Crafty Individuals, it's her what she calls it, the smooth card, the satin card, smooth cards, stamping card, whatever it is. I can never remember. The stamping card that they sell, which is really, really good. But otherwise, if you have encaustic card, you know, the very smooth card you use for encaustic art, that's that kind of card. So it's very smooth, it's not glossy, but it's very smooth. Silk card, yeah, it could be silk card. But it's super, super smooth. So it stamps beautifully. That's why I love that card too. That thing is a bit dark, I don't like it. So I'm going to try to find my piece of, oh, won't let me take it off. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's see what you say, just in case there's a question. Let me have a quick look. Fab technique, you like the swoosh technique? Yeah, let's call it like that, the swoosh technique. I'm going to try this instead of pressing down. Love this technique and color, thank you. So let's swoosh some more then. So I don't press down, I just drag it along. A bit more water. Chantal is watching. Bonjour Chantal. Okay, so So you see on this one, I've actually pressed down, so I'm losing all my little splatter thing. So if I do this, then I will get more splatter. Here we go. This side, I'm going to add a bit more light green. So press and smush. Or smush, just smush, yeah. So you can go on as much as you want until you actually like it. I would like to have a bit more splattering. I see some little hearts coming up, so that's cool. Okay, so I don't want to do it at the top of the card. I think what I might do, I don't want to take the risk to put, I mean, these are high enough on the card. So what I'll do is I'll just take some ink like this, and I'll do some normal splatters. And Beatrice. There we go. T'en fais des tâches. Ah, t'es la Rosemary, je l'avais pas vu. Tu as peut-être parlé avant, mais comme je vois pas tous les commentaires. Oui, j'aime bien les tâches, moi. Right, so I'm taking that one off because I don't need that anymore, but I still need the gray. So I'm going to add a bit of gray because it's oxide and not distress ink. It's going to sit right on top because it's opaque. So a bit of smooshing so it blends nicely. So if I come closer, you will see there's some smooshing on here, and then there's some little dots just above, which is what I wanted. Smooshing and little dots just above. Oh, because I've added oxide on top of distress ink, I get kind of a marble effect. I don't know if you can see that here. Hopefully you can. And here, because it's oxide and not distress inks, and it sits right on top, nice and opaque on top of the green. Okay. It is really cool. That's why last week I asked again with what are you using, more oxide, more distress inks, and it's so cool to have both because they really work together well. Well, they're meant to, you're going to say, but if you use them well, you can get some really cool effects by using them together, I mean. Right, so what did I do afterwards? Let me think. I did stamp the numbers. Actually, I stamped the thing first. Let me think, see what I have. I still have one here, so that's good. I'm going to use that. And I'm going to use the rook, which is already cut, and I'm going to use a little black pawn, which I need to cut, but that will be quick. Yeah, you said you had time, right? That wasn't planned, so I didn't cut ahead of time. Ah non, t'arrives juste. Ah, mais faut que tu regardes l'autre, faut que tu regardes en replay. Ah tiens, en fait, Speaking of, if you want to win the stamp set, I know that you won't, Rosemary, parce que toi tu l'as déjà. If you want to win the stamp set, the keyword today is rook, or tour en français. If you watch on replay, you've got until Sunday night to enter. So if you write the word rook or tour, you can win the stamp plate, the chess stamp plate. No, I said that, not that one first. So I will come back to that afterwards. This one first. Now, as much as I'm adding my pieces, I cut them first and add them afterwards, but I still stamp the image because I want the little dots and I want those lines, which I'm not going to cut. And same here, I've got a little grid and I've got some dots and some dots underneath. So I'm going to stamp the images and then I glue them on top. Does that make sense? Makes sense in my head. Would make more sense when you see it, I guess. Okay. I need to see if it's straight. So I'm putting it towards me because I want to stamp straight. Here we go. So that's the first one. Then I'm going to stamp the rook. A bit higher, so it looks like it's a bit further behind. You didn't ask. Rook. Is rook the name of one of the pieces on the chess set? Yes, it is. It's this one. And then the little one. This one's called a pawn, if I'm not mistaken. So again, I'm doing it a bit higher. Sorry, I bring it towards me again because I want to stamp it straight-ish. So again, I stamped it a bit higher than this one, so it looks a bit further. Now, if I'm teaching you English, Kathy, then that's going to be the world upside down. So I'll let that dry for a second, and in the meantime, I'm going to cut that very quickly. If I find my scissors, that is. I told you it was a mess. Here we go. See, it didn't take that long. I'm glad you do, Chris. And I enjoy it too, otherwise I wouldn't do it. Right, so I've got my pieces to glue on top afterwards, but in the meantime, I'm going to come back to this. I had inked earlier, if I find them. And I'm going to stamp this the right way up. So one here. And then, so I'm using the Distress Oxide for that. And then I'll use the other numbers. I need a drink, sorry. My tea is cold, no surprise there. And I'm going to stamp this one here. It doesn't matter if I stamp on this because obviously I'm going to glue that on top. And then I'm going to, I need to put that away because I keep on picking up. I'm going to stamp it on the right there as well. Right way up. Here we go. And then I'm going to use the little numbers on the same ink as this one, but in oxide. So the same, I use the Distressing Rustic Wilderness and Twisted Citron in the background, and I'm going to use the same in oxide to stamp the numbers in the foreground, which I won't use that actually. Put a bit here and a bit on the right. And I'm going to use the other color as well. Right way up, ideally. Add a bit more. In here. Here we go. Okay, last reminder to win the stamp set. Oh wait, boy. To win this stamp set, you have to write the word rook in the comment, ou vous pouvez mettre tour en français, comme vous voulez. And you have until Sunday night to enter the draw. I will pick a name on Monday. I need to put a reminder because I know what I think. Then I get messages from some of you saying, did you do the draw? Did you forget? Yes, I forgot. Donc vous avez jusqu'à dimanche soir pour participer et je devrais, si je ne l'oublie pas, faire le tirage au sort lundi. Je suis en train de me brûler les doigts. Something you can do if it's really dry, because I don't want to smush it. Hold on. If you want to make the colors pop, I've shown you that on the card with the dragon, if you remember. If you want the colors, I'm using the paper because the card is hot and I don't want to burn my fingers. Thank you, Lida. Yeah, it's not dry. If you want to make the colors pop, you can use the Distress Glaze. I'll do that in a second, but I want to make sure the card's really, 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 really dry. Is it dry now? That's better. So if you want to make the colors pop a bit more, just use the, I do it with my finger actually, a bit of Distress Glaze on the ink. And that works on you know, glossy or encaustic card, not on the, well, I don't think it works on normal card. I haven't tried it, but I don't think it would. But colors come back to life when you, it's not quite dry, so it's smudging. Try a bit more. Now I'm going to glue my pieces on the card. So I'm not putting 3D foams on this one, I'm just gluing the pieces just straight to the card. Thank you for all your kind words. Hey Barbara, you're late to the party. Well, Kathy's like after midnight in Australia and you're like 8 o'clock in the morning, so I can't really blame you guys for not showing up, but you can watch on replay. Thank you, Pam. So I've got a bit of the card missing here. I had kept it. I'll have to go in the rubbish bin to find it. It will be somewhere in there, and it's tiny. So I'm not going to look for it now, but because I did cut my card a bit too much as I was reading the comments while cutting. You're welcome, Leslie. If you do try the techniques that I showed today, please take a quick picture of your card and come back and post it in a comment so we can all see. I love seeing what you make after the demos. Right. So I just need to stamp checkmate and I'll be good. Obviously I would have to matte the card, and I will do it. Matte it on black first and then it's on a white card. The rook is called Turm in German. Thank you. Merci. Danke. So I need paper just to double check that I've straight. That would really bother me if I was stamping it crooked now. The card is finished. Take it down a notch. If I was to stamp it crooked, then in this case I would stamp it on another card and then glue it on top. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I'd rather have the stamp. I'm bringing it forward so I can stamp straight, okay? And the right way up, ideally. There we go. So we're done. If you have any question, now's the time. Try that. So I'm going to add a quick thing actually. Now I've got two cards, like two of the same cards. I'm going to send one to you guys if you want it. It's always nice to see the card in real life rather than on camera. So if you want to win this template, you put rook, as many of you have already done. What's the third card? Well, next time. So to win this template, it's rook. Pour gagner la planche, c'est le mot rook ou le mot tour. And if you want me to send you the card, then you write checkmate ou échec et mat en français. And then I'll do a draw for the card as well, because I've got two, so I'll send you one. So if you want to receive the card, checkmate ou échec et mat. You're welcome, Chris. Thank you for coming and keeping me company. So next live, well, for sure on the 13th of November on the Stampers Grove Facebook page, and I will put all the links and everything later. I will be using Cat Craft stamps for sure, and most likely build a scene, like do some kind of scene on my card, or I don't know. I haven't done it yet, so not sure. So that's on the 13th of November on the Stampers Grove Facebook page, and then I might do one. I might do another live here on my page, maybe on the 6th of November. Is the Saturday the 6th? Could look on the iPad, couldn't I? October, November, 5th, no, 4th. What am I doing? I'm in December, that doesn't work. November, here we go, 6th of November. So I might do one on the 6th. Or again, I will put it, there will be lots of ads everywhere, as I usually do in my stories on the page. So remember, if you want to receive this card, this one, just write checkmate or shake him at in a comment. You can do that until Sunday night, Sunday being the 17th of October, jusqu'à dimanche 17 octobre. And then you can receive the card. Here we go. So that's